Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Devils fans of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Devil's Den Hockey. Now, I know it has been God knows how long since we've done one of these videos. Unfortunately, there really hasn't been a whole lot of news on the offseason front, as basically free agency wrapped up most of Tom Fitzgerald's project to fix this team. However, we've had some big news as of today. Nico Daws has re-signed with the New Jersey Devils to a 2-year contract, two-way. So he's going to spend part of his time in the AHL, part of his time in the NHL. It's a really interesting contract because I haven't seen many contracts like this where it feels like he has two different roles within one kind of contract. So let's get into it. So Nico Daws, our looks like future goaltender down the road if we give it a couple of years. Looks like it's going to be the plan to get Nico Daws to be the goaltender for the New Jersey Devils. Has re-signed with the Devils, 2-year contract. The first year of the contract is a 2-way contract where he'll spend most of the time in the AHL and some of the time in the NHL as essentially an emergency call-up if both Markstrom and Allen go down in the season, which, you know what, with goaltenders, can certainly happen, and having Nico Daws as a backup option for Markstrom and Allen, or even if they want to sort of split the Europe in a really interesting way, I could see Markstrom playing 40 to 50 games this season, having Allen play, 15, probably 20 to 25 games, and having Daws, if you throw him even 5 or 10 games this year, because I still want him to get those NHL opportunities, and I think if you're playing teams like possibly San Jose, or Columbus, or Ottawa, or Montreal, some of these more bottom tier teams, or Chicago, I think throwing in Daws to get wins and get him that NHL experience without having to throw him to the wolves might be a really interesting opportunity. However, in his second year on the 2-year contract, it is a one-way NHL contract. So see, this is sort of how I see this running, okay? So right now we have Markstrom and Allen, 1A, 1B, starter, backup for this year. That goaltending tandem is set in stone for this year. The curiosity is, can Jake Allen continue the success that he had with the Devils last year into this year? Because let's be honest, Jake Allen last year, in the 15 to 20 games that New Jersey brought him into play, he actually played fairly well for the Devils. And having him come back on essentially, realistically, a tryout contract, while obviously still being a regular NHL salary contract, but having him go, you know what, Allen? You know what, Jake? You did really good last year. You didn't get to play a whole lot of games. It was the end stretch of the year. We're going to bring you back for this year. We're going to let you play. But if you screw up, we can flip Allen, get him for another asset, and bring up Daws if we need to. Because that second year on Nico Daws' contract is a NHL-level contract. It's not that he can't be sent down to the minors for conditioning if he needs it during the second year of his contract, but it feels like the Devils, and it feels like Fitzgerald's plan, is to put Daws in a position where they sort of see him as, while maybe not necessarily the future goaltender of the New Jersey Devils, it sort of does feel like they're moving in that general direction. Now, Markstrom and Allen, after 1 year, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that tandem. Markstrom is getting older, and he is certainly not the Devils' goaltender for the foreseeable future. Markstrom is probably going to come in. We're probably going to get 2, 3, maybe 4 good years out of him, and then we might have to flip him, or we might have to be sent to another team, or perhaps he retires. Who knows? So I think he's only 32, 33 right now. I could be totally wrong. I haven't looked at Markstrom's age in forever. 32, 33. You've probably got another good 3 or 4 years at Markstrom. And Allen, he's older than Markstrom is. We don't know how well Markstrom's going to do when he's facing an entire year's worth of work, right? We brought him in for 15, 20 games to play the tail end of last year. He did fairly well, but it'll be interesting to see what this year brings. Like, again, if you go back 2 years, Vitek Vanacek had a really good year 2 years ago. However, this year, he was a dumpster fire. He wasn't very good whatsoever during the year, and so we had to make a move to get rid of him. Same as this year. Jake Allen has a really good year last year. Maybe he doesn't work out this year, and that's why you've got Nico Daws in the tunnel to come and fill that slot. But I do think that Daws still needs to be played at the NHL level to get some more experience, to get his comfort level up, to get him ready to, again, possibly be the New Jersey Devils goaltender a couple years down the road. It could even be 2 or 3 years down the road. We don't know. It just depends on, A, the market, 2, the performance of Markstrom and Allen. I have no doubt Markstrom's going to play well. It's really going to be how Allen plays, because if Allen has a spectacular year this year, and he, in his 20 to 25 games of backup, if he puts up stellar numbers, I mean, we might have to postpone Daws for a little while. It just depends. Overall, what do I think of the signing? I think it's a good signing. Money-wise, because I know we haven't talked about that yet. We've more talked about the theoretical perspectives of how does Daws fit here? What does the future look like? Things like that. But from a money perspective, he's making league minimum money, which, you know what? I kind of would have liked him to make at least $1 million. However, I'm not complaining, because where you can save money is a good thing. Because if you can save money here, you can put it towards something either this year at the trade deadline, or even move it into the future and have some cap space. He's getting basically league minimum money at both the AHL and the NHL level in both the first year of his contract and the second year of his contract. While I think the second year is being paid a little bit more than the first year, I think the first year at AHL he's getting $750, and at NHL level he's getting $850. So there's that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I personally am glad that Daws decided, and the Devils and Fitzgerald could come to an agreement with Daws and his agent and his team to re-sign and come together and keep the pipeline of development, the pipeline of growth, the pipeline of the future in place, which is great. Again, I don't know when I'm going to make another one of these videos, guys. Unfortunately, as news comes out, I will make videos for it. It's the only issue with off-season hockey time is that when there's no real announcements, it's kind of hard to make videos because there's not really anything to cover. I'm thinking of making a video for Draisaitl. I'm not sure. I've heard there's some rumblings about his contract and how he might sign the highest paid contract in all of NHL history. I don't know. I'll make a video about that. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I'm glad Daws re-signed. The contract is good. The timeline is good. The money is good. And we'll see what happens. So, yeah. If any more news comes out, I'll be sure to make another video. But until then, guys, adios, and I will see you guys in the next one.